Like silver needles, the rain fell in sheets through the neon shine of the Haven Games horizon. On the roof of the Argentinian tower, Lena Vos broke low. The rain, her leather jacket slipped. Her gloved fingers tightened around the dagger in her hand. It thrummed against his palm, a low fundamental vibration that made his teeth ache. The blade was ancient. Its edge was arranged with glyphs that faintly flashed the crimson, as if the metal was forged in the heart of a dying star. Dagger of Erizil. A remnant whispered about in higher circles, culverts, and black market auctions. The contact of hacker Lena named Jacques waited between a nest of the monitor, her cybernetic eye flickering blue. "You look like hell," he said, tossing him a med kit.
Looks bad.
She slipped into a chair, inspected the bullet graze on her shoulder to peel her jacket back. Gray died. An hour after I left, the Syndicate hit him. Jacques whistled, air tying loose ends. "You're ahead." He nodded at the dagger. "Why is that so important? They didn't tell you. They never do." Lena hesitated. Dagger's glow stared in Jax's eye. "This is a key. Opens a gate for some, a weapon asked to carve through dimensions. Not only blood, but to spread luck." Lena Vos didn't believe in legends. Not till tonight. 3 days ago, the job looked simple. A shipping magnate with a spell for hoarding of infiltration. Cursed artifacts into Elias Cray's private gallery. The dagger stolen it to give a broker in the iron market enough credits to disappear forever. Lena ran through the dockyard. The dagger rested on her thigh. Her shoes were splashing through the oily puddle. Behind that, the roar of motorcycles echoed with shipping containers. Syndicate enforcers, armored, masked, tireless. He went over a chain-link fence, landed in a roll, and unheard the dagger. Its brightness became brighter, the casting shadow. The first enforcer rounded the corner, picking up a shotgun. Lena lung. Sliced blade through barrel like paper. Before she could react, he rotates, running hilt in her temple. He crumbled. The second enforcer swallowed a machete. The dagger's edge deteriorated against steel, Lena said. A spark erupted, and the mosh shattered. Lena saw her feet flowing, stunned, and slammed the dagger's pummel in her throat. But more were coming. She could listen to their shouting, the steady cleavage of their radio. "The goon is moving east. I cut him off. He's moving toward the refinery." Lena leaned into a street, pressed her back to a damp brick. His breath flowed into the air. The dagger pulsed. His vibration was syncing with his heartbeat. He saw what it could do. Earlier corners in a metro tunnel, she had slipped on a solid pillar in frustration. The blade had cleaned through it like butter, and the entire structure was collapsed while burying 3 Syndicate trucks. Magic or technique? He didn't care. It worked. But it was changing him. He felt it in his veins, a fever itch, as if the dagger was sewing himself in his soul. Lena was uncultured, not of mythology. But the payout. A quiet $5 million was enough to ignore the way Cray's name whipped her knuckles. He had planned the theft innocently. Disables lasers who bypass biometric lock, slipped behind guard with silence of shadow. But when he picked up the dagger from his glass case, the air had cracked. The room temperature fell. And in the reflection of the blade, he saw him. The Rook, his ex-companion, smirk, and stood in the doorway with the purpose of his chest. 45. Remember me, darling? He fell. He threw a smoke pellet, dipped his bullet, and spoke, not before looking at the sigil falling on her wrist. A coiled serpent is eating its tail. Ouroboros Syndicate. They hired him, then double-crossed him. Classic. Now, they wanted the daggers back. And they sent him every rented gun in the city to hunt. The roads of the Haven game were the maze of rust and neon. Safe home. The safe house was a crumbling loft over a nightclub called Eclipse.